Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Okay, so we've got two of these. Let's turn on the welder. And we're just going to tack them in place and see what they look like. How does this look? Oh yeah, perfect. I think we'll weld up that joint first because it's easier to do laying down. All right, that puts us where we want to be there. How are we doing there? I'd say we're pretty well close to what we want. Let's go ahead and put a little bit stronger tack in. Ouch! Damn it, I keep doing that. Alright, there it is. Make sure we're still good as far as the weight is concerned. And that's a 5-pound weight. And we want a 10. Yep, we're good. Oh, let's weld up this side. All right, Nick Collier here again, and we're going to take this thing apart a little bit. I've taken one side of the support bars off, and there's a couple things we need to do. One is the nut that goes on here is just kind of on there. So once we get it tightened up, we need to drill a hole through it and put a big cotter pin through there, so that will stay in place and won't unwind on them. And then the other thing we need to do is pull this out, and notice that there's a keyway in there, and we need to slide a key in there and get that all nice and solid so that it runs on the gear drive. That's two things. The third thing we need to do is build a battery box for this thing, because he's going to hook up 12-volt batteries to each one of these motors. So we're going to do 2 battery boxes. And what else? Geez, that might be it. Now, I sent him a note yesterday and he's ready to come down and pick it up. So let's get started. All right, first thing we're going to do is drill a hole in this nut. And I've got this thing sitting over the gap in my vise so that I can go through it into the hole. Oh, let's speed that baby up. That's a little better. So we're going to center drill it. Get ourselves centered in that, on that edge. That looks pretty good. Let's come up with a good sized cotter pin. Oh yeah, here we go. Nice honkin' sucker. And find a drill bit that's going to match that. Bring our table down a bit. And it looks to me like this isn't quite square. Okay. And we'll take our drill bit right on down. All right, let's just cut it again. We'll run the countersink or the pilot drill. All right, so we've got our piece here, and we need to put a piece of key stock in there. So I'm thinking it's going to be someplace right in there, and I want a nice long piece. There's going to be a lot of pressure against this thing. So I think as long as we can get it, I'd be happy. And I'm even seeing a bit of a round up here, so I might just round this off, and that means we're going to make it just a little bit longer than the actual measurement itself. That's on 1. And number 2, of course, somebody's got tape all over this thing. Yeah, let's destroy a good piece of key stock by taping the shit out of it. God, what a mess. All right, I'm going to take this into the wire wheel and clean it up a little bit. All right, well, we got the other side here, and we can cut that key also. Of course, what did I do with my pen? Let me go find a pen. There we go. That's going to be right about there. Alright, we'll take this over the power hacksaw and cut these two pieces off. And we'll be back. Alright, before we put our keys in, we need these to swing back and forth a little bit so we can get our batteries positioned right in between them so that they don't hit. And our battery box is 8 7/8 by 6 3/16 by 10 1/4. Okay, it's time to work on the battery box. And we've got a measurement of 6 3/16, but you know, we're going to make it bigger because we got plenty of room here. So we're going to make it 6 1/2 by 11. And we need a few tools here. Let's go, we're not going to go to the corner, we're going to go 6 and take that down. Okay, yeah, take it down that way. So, and then we want to go 11. No, we want to go 7. Yeah, 7. Seven. Now 11. And then 6 1/2 or 7. And then we've got 6 here, so another 5. 3, 4, 5. All right, well, that's a bit of cutting for one. I'm thinking we're going to torch this sucker out because we're going to weld it up anyhow. And who cares? That looks pretty good. We'll come in here and we're going to reset these with the chalk. we'll just drop this thing in the vise and start torquing it until it submits. There we go. Oops, back a little bit. Okay, that's pretty good. Now we'll just kind of bring it on in. Oops. A bit more. We'll bring that on in. And that looks pretty good. Nice. And one last bend. Well, except for cleaning up messes. And we're pretty close. Now we'll come in and heat this up and bring that on in. Also relieve that a little bit and bring that on in until we get good and square. I'd say that's pretty close. Get a couple of clamps on that and we may have it. There we go. That looks pretty good. We'll throw a little bead on that and I think we'll have a good start. Alright, if you look at it, you can see that it's tweaked just a little bit. So we need to get that straightened out. but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. We're going to take it over to the vise and straighten it out. Okay, now as you can see, well, we're out of square a little bit this way, and we're floppy. So we need to take it to the vise and push things around until they square up. And we will be back. All right, you can see how out of square it is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just torque it just slightly. Almost got it. Well, that's pretty good. A little bit more maybe. Let's see what that looks like. That's not bad. Now it is out of square that way. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to deal with that. But we'll give it a try. We're going to just put it on the anvil and bang it from this end with a sledge. Well, I'd say that worked pretty well. So, okay, all we got left to do, other than make two of them, is to weld it up and drill a couple holes in it. And let's go ahead and start welding. Okay, well, Nick Collier here, and oh, we're getting so close. Now, there's a couple of little things I got to do today. One is make a battery box, or the other battery box. This side is done. We can make one for the other side. And then these weights are going to be sitting here and spinning. He wants to run them at 600 RPM, which is a lot of weight. But it's 600 RPM stop and start. And so consequently, my concern is that if we're doing stop and start, the weights will slide back and forth. So we need to put a little stop back here, you know, just something with a little arm in it, kind of like the weights on barbells, just to keep the weights from sliding in. So we're going to do that this morning. And, oh, I don't know, a couple other things, and maybe we might actually be done. All right, well, we rustled up a piece of, what does it look like? Maybe 2-inch, let's see what we've got. Yep, 2-inch bar stock there. We don't need much of it. I'm thinking, well, maybe a little bit more than that. Somewhere in that general area. So it looks like it's about a 1/4 inch beyond our little support there. And we'll just do that. All right, so we got our little plug here. We're going to face it off, chamfer it, and drill a 1-inch hole in it. Pretty simple. And we're going to do it in 2 of them. All right, let's face it off first. There's my wrench. All right. Okay. And go a little faster than that, I'd say. There we go. All right, okay, so 1 inch wasn't big enough. Let's go for a little bit bigger. Okay, so we got our piece in here. We want to drill a hole right down the center there. I'm going to eyeball it this way. Then we've got a, let me get some glasses so I can eyeball it. And we've got a little mill bit in here, and we're just going to skim it back and forth until we come up with center this way. So let's bring it in, and I'm thinking that looks pretty good. We'll bring it down. And just keep bringing it across until we find get a square. And I would say that pretty much is a square. So we turn it off and we bring the bit in until it's squared up on the square. I gotta get my cheater glasses for this one. A little bit more over, a little bit, somewhere right in there. I am happy with that. We'll zero out just in case things get screwed up. Put a center drill in. Drill ourselves a hole. And we're going to go down with this little bit smaller bit, an older bit that'll, you know, take the brunt of the wear. And then we come down with our nice brand new clean fancy bit. There it is. Come out to F. Looks good. And someplace in here we've got a tap. And we're going to slow this thing down. Break it loose. Break our piece loose. And we'll take that over in a minute. For right now, we're going to, well, no, let's take it over now because we need that. Throw a tap handle on this and crank her down. All right, so the piece goes on. Oh, and of course it doesn't fit. Give me a break. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so, and then it just gets hand tightened down just to keep the weights from back jumping. And then our nut gets put back on and we're pretty well set to go. We won't put it on now. I'll go do the second one and I'll be back. All right, well this battery box is just a little bit too far out. So we're gonna bring it in to about there, and which means we've got to cut this little tab off here. And we'll do that ASAP. Well now, oh, but that's okay. That probably is gonna work. Guess we better turn the gas on. I mean, literally, I have had these torches for 50 years and hardly ever done anything to them. You know, Victor's a great brand. The gauges themselves have always been a problem. Well, you know, maybe the first 10 or 15 years they weren't a problem, but they tend to leak, and so I'm constantly turning the gas on, using it, turning the gas off. I know I should buy some new gauges, but you know, one more thing.